almost all of my life, I have wanted to build discipline. And discipline is a skill that we always have to level up if we want to progress. And it was very, very interesting because I wanted the validation that would come if I took on big challenges. So for example, I could visualize and imagine myself like, I don't know, running a marathon or doing something that required a lot of discipline and a lot of pain because I wanted to seek validation from other people. And that is actually very, very interesting because right now my mindset has shifted totally and I don't really want to tell people about the things that I'm doing currently because I know that small-minded people usually drag your goals down and the things that you actually want to accomplish down just because small-minded people will bring the things down to their level, if you get what I'm saying here. So right now I've actually switched up my mental model and I've actually switched up everything that I think about and my beliefs and all of that. And since that point, as I said, there's been a lot of things that have changed in my own personal growth journey. So today I actually want to just share 3 lessons that I didn't know earlier about discipline, and that is very, very crucial for you to know if you actually want to level up your discipline, because if I would have knew these things, it would have been a lot easier for me to actually build discipline in the right way and just do it for like me and also like my family and the people that I like and future partners and all of that. So the first lesson that I want to talk about is that discipline is not what you think it is. Discipline is not working out. It is not going on a massive run. Discipline is simply doing the things that you specifically don't feel like doing. So Mike Tyson quotes this very, very well. He says, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. The interesting thing here is my younger self would have thought discipline was like, I don't know, going to the gym a few times a week or playing football a few times a week. But when that becomes your baseline and you're not even challenging your own discipline, you can't call that discipline because you aren't challenging yourself in that way and you aren't putting any friction towards it. And that is what is very, very important to understand, because if you get this wrong, it's very hard to level up that skill, because if you don't even know what skill you're leveling up or how it works, then it's very, very hard to actually apply yourself to that. So that was it for discipline and understanding that. So if you can just understand that discipline is simply doing the things that you don't feel like doing. And usually for me, that can be like, I don't know, stretching, cleaning, doing things that takes a little bit of friction, like picking up the pile of clothes that has been on your floor for like 3 days or whatever, or making your bed. The things that actually take some friction. For me, sometimes it can be, I don't even know, but like picking up some things and just doing the things that take a little bit of friction but are small, and you do them today. So do that today, and it's a lot easier to actually build discipline that way, because you don't need to like run for 5 hours straight and scream like David Goggins does. But moving on to lesson number 2. So lesson number 2. Challenge your own pain barrier. So pain is something that we have to exchange if we want to become successful or accomplish your goals. Because, like, let me state this. The universe will give you the things that you want to if you actually work hard enough. So for example, for you to actually accomplish the things that you want to, the currency that you need to exchange in order to do that is pain. So the amount of pain that you're willing to put in, and that has an output. Like if I put in X amount of pain, I will get a reward. So for example, let's say this, I just want to run a marathon. This is a very, very great example. Think of how many times I have to actually run when I don't feel like running. I have to actually train when I don't feel like training. When you have to do things that you specifically don't want to do. And when I don't want to follow my diet and I do it anyway, that is pain right there. And that is the exact currency that it takes for you to accomplish your goals. So you will accomplish your goals if you just put in X amount of pain over a long enough time frame, because that's what we need. Time and pain. We need to put in these 2 things, and that is just a thing that we need to iterate upon. So you have to constantly challenge your own pain barrier. And what I mean by that is you need to sit down and reflect upon your actions lately and say to yourself, have I really been challenging this pain barrier, or have I been just coping and saying to myself that, nah, I haven't actually been doing that. And for me, to be honest, currently, like, I don't know, the past 5 days, I haven't actually been challenging that pain barrier. And that actually hurts a little bit to take that truth and that accountability and put that onto YouTube, which is a social media platform that you are watching currently. Imagine that. It takes a little bit of friction for me to actually do that, but it keeps me responsible for my actions, because sometimes you just simply don't feel like doing the thing that you're supposed to. And that is a period that will come for all of us, and I'm in that period right now. I'm trying to bounce back as fast as possible, but that is what we always need to do. We need to be better on our worst day than our opponent on their best day to beat them. So that's what we need to do. So sit down, reflect on your actions lately. Have you been challenging it? Good. Try to find out why you've been doing that, and also why you haven't been doing that if you haven't. So try to just reflect upon your actions lately and come up with a conclusion and a plan of action. And when you do that, it's a lot easier. Moving on with lesson number 3. Lesson number 3. You already know what to do. Let me tell you a story. Back in 2022, I sat down and I watched a motivational compilation by like David Goggins or Jordan Peterson, whoever it was. Like, these are the two like main guys that you're watching if you're typically consuming motivational content. So I watched a motivational speech compilation from like David Goggins and Jordan Peterson, and they said that you already know what to do. You have the tools. You just don't want to become better. Because if you would want it, you wouldn't be watching this video. You would be out there actually practicing and coercing and actually becoming better with the things that you're doing currently. And that is the thing, like, a thing that I would tell my younger self is just break down it to the basics. And it's a lot easier than you think. Like, it's not that complicated to become successful. What is complicated and what is hard is the friction and the pain that you have to exchange in order to get there. So what we talked about earlier is that pain is the currency that you have to trade in order for you to accomplish your goals. That is the exact same thing here. Like, if you aren't willing to exchange that pain, you will cope with the fact with just watching motivational videos, because that stimulates your brain to thinking that you're actually being productive. So I think that is really, really important to understand. Like, you already know what to do. Go to the gym, have a firm handshake, look people in the eyes, talk to new people, and just do things that are a bit hard and actually challenge your pain level and are a bit uncomfortable. So another thing that I just want to give a disclaimer for is that don't like bang your toe or I don't know, like break your hand, because this pain has to be under a controlled circumstance, as I like to put it. So for example, you do it by like taking a cold shower, doing some push-ups, just doing something that requires a bit of pain, but not pain in the way of like smashing your wall with your fist or something like that. But you get what I mean here. So I really hope that you got some value out of this video and that you can apply these things to actually become more self-disciplined. And you can subscribe if you haven't already done that, and see you in the next one.